Hi, I'm Adam and I'm a pet photographer in Tampa, Florida. In today's video, I'm going to show you two different lighting setups that we used on the same dog at one of our adoption photo shoots at the Humane Society of Tampa Bay. Every week, we go to the shelter and we take new adoption photos. We call it our second shot program, and we're giving pets a second shot, literally a second photo, but also a second shot at getting adopted. And we've been doing this since 2016. We recently named it Second Shot, and it's just such a good name. I came up with it in the shower, and I just do my best thinking in the shower. Anyway, what you're seeing here is Thor. Thor is a German Shepherd. He's a dog that just wasn't showing really well in his kennel. And when people would walk by, it's just he would bark at them. He wasn't really showing his true personality when you saw him at the shelter. And unfortunately, not just with Thor, but with shelter animals all over the country, all over the world, getting an intake photo that shows their personality is just so difficult to do. They're scared, they're nervous, they're just getting there. They don't know why they're there. And to ask that of a shelter staff to get a quality photo is just, it's nearly impossible. So we bring our studio equipment to the shelter every week and we give them time. We give them love, we give them attention, we give them treats. And what you're seeing is behind the scenes of a photo shoot with Thor. And I wanted to show you how we do it and talk through it a little bit. So you'll see that a volunteer brings in Thor from his kennel and he's on his leash and he approaches me and it's fine and I'm happy to get some snuggles in. And then my assistant, Alana, she's with Fairy Tale Pet Care. If you're getting married and you want to include your dog in your wedding, they're the company to call. They were on Shark Tank, highly recommend them, but they're really good. Kelly and her business partner Alana, they're really good at, Alana and her business partner Kelly are so good at getting each pet comfortable. So we have Alana, who's helping me with the dog, Thor in this case, and then we have Pam, who's volunteering at the shelter to get each dog. We also have a lot of other volunteers that help us as well. And one point about the volunteers who get each dog from their kennel, we actually stagger them. So when we're working with one dog, the other volunteer is getting the next dog. So I'm not just sitting there doing nothing while one volunteer goes back and forth, because it could take 10, 15 minutes to drop a dog off, get a new dog, bring them back. So when you stagger them, you could double your impact because you're having two people help you. Anyway, so we have Thor here, and Thor was amazing. His adoption photo, or his intake photo rather, just was not doing him justice. He is this regal dog, and it was a pleasure to photograph him. He sat, he was so gentle. Now, not every shelter dog sits. This is, I'd say 50% of the dogs we photograph sit at the shelter. And he was amazing. So we always make sure that they're gonna be okay around the flash. He was amazing around the flash, didn't care at all. So we ended up taking his leash off, which I like to do when I can tell that the dog, Thor in this case, is comfortable and taking treats and responding to my noises. If they're a little wild or they're not sitting or they're lucky to run around in the room, I might be less likely to take their leash off, but it makes editing a lot easier. So we took his leash off and he did amazing. I made a lot of silly sounds, goofy sounds, got his attention. What we ended up doing was switching our lighting setup. In this first setup, we used a 7-foot umbrella and that's it. That's one light. It's silver interior, has diffusion. It gives me a lot of leeway to position him. Actually, it gives Alana, my assistant, a lot of leeway, left or right, to be able to position him. But he did so well, so we decided to enhance him a little bit, and I'll show you the photo here in a little bit. But we used 3 lights. We used a Westcott FJ400, same as what's in the 7-foot umbrella, but then we use it in an Octa M. It's a smaller light source, so the light's gonna be a little, not harsher, but more, what's the word I'm looking for? The smaller the light source, the punchier the light it's gonna be. And then we also have 2 rim lights with FJ400s from Westcott with grids. The grids will focus the light a little bit. Now in a big room like this, you could probably take or leave the grids. The grids are really for a small space and you wanna prevent the light from getting into the camera. When you use a grid, it's gonna cut down your power, so you're gonna have to raise your strobe power a little bit. But he did amazing. He did so well around this photography gear. And I'm happy to report that Thor is, at the time of this recording, on an adoption test drive. I reached out to the new adopter, they responded to me right away, and they said they follow the Humane Society on social media and they saw the photos that we took and they have a German Shepherd already. This dog's name is Thor. Their other German Shepherd's name is Loki. It's perfect. So these adoption photos are really working, these second shot photos. If I can inspire you or teach you something through this process, I'm so happy. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I'm gonna put all my gear and my camera settings in the description below too. But I wanted to show you the difference between a 7-foot umbrella and a 3-light setup using 3 Westcott FJ400s. And the difference between the intake photo, the 7-foot umbrella photo, and the photo with the 3 lights, they're so different from each other. So go ahead, test it, have fun, volunteer at your local shelter or rescue. You won't regret it. And like I said, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll answer them there. If you want to train with me in person, I'm hosting a workshop at my studio. Go to the education page on our website. You'll see all the information there as well. And follow us on TikTok and Instagram. We post a lot of behind the scenes there too. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in a future video.